Everything woke turns to shit.
You must unite what has been citizen.
We are TFR, Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning, TFR.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Today is a bittersweet episode for us. It is episode 420. That's a lot. But this comes on the heels on the loss of a TFR host, Kev Baker. And that hits the whole channel pretty hard. Hit everybody pretty hard. He was just posting in the host chat on Saturday, I think. Yeah, it was a picture of him from his hospital bed, but I don't think anybody was expecting to get that news. So I know Kev Baker's YouTube channel and I believe the TFR Live YouTube channel both did a stream last night with a link to Kev's wife, a link for a memorial fund. I'll see if I can dig that link up and include it in the show description this morning. So just a quick shout out to all of Kev's family and friends. And yeah, we'll all miss you, Kev. That's messed up. That, and it's cold as shit here in Missouri. It's actually slightly warmer today than it was yesterday, but yesterday was about 11 degrees. And that's French. So getting a little chilly. And Sunday, we had a freak snowstorm that apparently only happened in my neighborhood. Nope.
What?
Yeah. It's pretty strange. Pretty strange.
Wild.
Like, I woke up with snow, and I was literally snowing. Like, snow coming down. And I had hopped in the car, ran up to the gas station to get some coffee. And the lady at the counter's like, where's all that snow come from? She says, I walked to work this morning and There were no cars with snow. There's no snow out. So yesterday at work, my wife was asking around people that live sort of in the area. I said, hey, did you guys get any snow on Sunday over the weekend? They're like, no. So yeah, I bet grand total, because some of it melted as it fell. But when I left, I was compacting snow down with the tires of the car. So I bet you there was at least an inch of snow we got, but just right here. Nobody else seemed to get any, but it was like accumulating in the grass and on the streets and in the driveway. We had accumulation of snow, but nobody else seemed to see it, know about it, or get it.
That is weird. That's just weird. Is there a big lake? Oh, no, because I don't know. That's weird.
I mean, there is a lake. There's a couple smaller lakes, but there's nothing big. Nothing I think that would like affect the weather locally like that.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
That's what I thought.
I've seen it rain, or be raining across the street and not here, but it wasn't like it wasn't just raining on the house across the street or the neighborhood over there. I was just on the line. But yeah, that's weird when it just falls in one spot like that. Polar vortex. Yeah, that's wild.
Saturday, I was wearing shorts at my granddaughter and them's house, and today I'm sitting on almost frozen pipes.
Shit. He still hasn't gotten those fucking pipes handled. They're not insulated. Don't they have like warming strips you can?
They have these. It's like just a copper wire with a rubber thing around it, and it's got sticky stuff, or you just tape it right to your pipe, and when it gets too cold, you just plug that thing in and it stays warm. Just keeps it warm enough so it never freezes.
Yeah, see, that's all northern stuff. That's not a thing here in the South. It gets cold enough to do this twice a year, and I'm usually on the air when it happens.
Yeah, if it even happens, yeah.
Morning, Walter. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm about to kill a cat, though, because she won't stay in my lap. She won't stay off my keyboard. Exactly. You hear the complaints. Oh, these children. No, I'm good. I was like up, and I figured, hey, I like doing a show with you guys a lot. So why don't I come do it?
Well, it's so nice having you here, Walt.
The plan was definitely to come see you guys last week and then take some time off because I still felt just like I was struggling. But hey, I miss you. What, buddy? You uncomfortable?
Yeah, however we can get you, Walt. You know that.
But yeah, I'm here and hanging and digging it. Yeah, weird weather, without a doubt. Just amazing 30-degree temperature drop. It was like 28 here last night. I know that's nothing to you guys that live in the real cold regions, but here in South Louisiana, that's cold.
Yeah, it's 30 here right now, and I'm not excited about it at all. We had some crazy. I saw the creek out back. It was higher running water than I've ever seen. Yesterday when I woke up.
Really?
It'd been raining 3 days, but the creek never really got all that high. Yeah, Saturday afternoon, I was out there looking at it, and it wasn't like running hard or anything, but the water level came back up because it did drop about 7 inches, 8 inches, something like that. And then I got up yesterday, walked out there. Well, I actually heard it as soon as I woke up. It sounded like I was right next to some whitewater rapids or something. I heard it in the house. I opened the door. It was just like, couldn't hear the highway at all. I went down there, and it was just white water for like probably 30, 40 feet coming off that bend. And I've never seen it running that hard. It was wild. But by a couple hours later, it was back to normal. Weird, just weird. Almost like there's a dam or something gave way. I don't know. But I've never seen it act like that. Yeah, that was a weird one.
That is unusual.
So I've been looking into, and you might like this, Walt, microbiology.
I do like that.
I don't think these people have any clue what they're talking about.
I kind of had some issues with it when I was like in it and believing it and taking classes for it. I was like, yeah, just so many, like, mostly with, interestingly enough, viruses, because there was just nothing logical or organic in what I was being shown and then being told to look for. And yeah, I don't know. Go ahead though. What are you saying? What have you gotten into?
Well, I've just been watching how they interact with each other and they consume each other, and just watching all this small microbial life interact with each other and the things they do. I mean, they all have a consciousness, each one of them. But if you look beyond that and try to ask what is biological life and what is nature, and you find out they're the exact opposites. Nature wants to equalize everything. It takes high pressure, puts it into low pressure, high potential, puts it into towards low potential, and it tries to equal it out. Well, biological life, its whole drive is to not reach equalization. Once you reach equalization, once the chemicals in your body stop interacting and there's no more, interactions, you die. That's like the end of life. But what we do, we go around and we consume energy. Biological life consumes other energy to hopefully not reach equalization right now. That's our whole drive, is to not allow the chemicals in our body to, rest. We want all these chemical interactions to constantly keep taking place, and so we can keep going. We are a group of chemicals seeking out energy so we do not reach equilibrium. That is what, now that's not consciousness. This is removing consciousness from the thing. That is my idea of what biological life does. Well, not my idea, but that's how I see biological life, what it actually is doing. Consuming energy so you don't reach, mediation. Mediation equals death. So we have to consume energy in one way or another. And it's all chemical interactions and this and that, but our bodies are just a big group of chemicals that are just trying not to equalize. Does that make any sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was like this.
And go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it was like a weird thing that hit me when he was explaining. Biological life, it's just trying to not equalize. And I was like, well, that's like the exact opposite of what Mother Nature is doing. It's almost like a cruel trick, or a game. Not a cruel one, but like a game almost. So what were you saying?
Well, I was just thinking about how, man, a lot of stuff really. So in that book, which I had kind of stopped reading for a while, got some other things to check out. So I haven't been in it a minute, the history of the world. But talking about the different stages as we evolve from thought, pure thought into a physical form, then trying to figure out that like the physical form being a vegetative state of being. And at that time, being vegetative, we would be absorbing sunlight directly. We would be, getting that energy or trying to balance or not balance or whatever, you know, in a different form. And then as that changed, it all kind of like is going also through this whole thing where I watched someone's video or maybe I was digging through a site, but somewhere in there they were talking about how at the different states of our different history, how, during different is we didn't even have an actual internal gastrointestinal system. Like we literally didn't consume food and excrete waste as a being, which is part of that reason why there's the old buildings with no bathrooms in them too, I think. But anyway, I don't know, just this whole thing of what you're saying kind of is fitting around this idea of the different stages, the different states, different times we were here, different meltdowns or whatever, mud floods, etc., have changed us each time to be a different whatever we are, in each cycle. I don't know. I'm just a lot trying to figure this out. Basically, while I'm talking about it.
Yeah, and I don't like their how they categorize stuff. They'll say, "Oh, it's a one-cell organism," but it has all these different parts. There's some one-cell organisms that grow to be 4 millimeters long. They say it's just a cell, and it eats things like tardigrades that have hundreds of cells, thousands. It's like this whole cell thing and what requires a cell and this and that and yada yada yada. I just think we can't see down small enough to really know what these things are actually made of yet. I don't know. What do you think? A cell has a mitochondria and it reproduces, right? Isn't that a thing of a cell? It can regenerate itself or it multiplies, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's got all these I don't know. Their just whole definition and classification of all these things is, I don't know. It's like putting everything in little boxes instead of, I don't know. Now, I never studied biology, like at all. And I know you did, Walt.
Yeah, did.
But do you think there's as much nonsense in biology as there is in...
How can there not be? I mean, witness the world around us as we all are trying to figure out the realities of exosomes and, illness in general. And what the fuck are viruses even a thing? Are there really little robots running around inside us? So again, when I was looking at things and handing stuff over to someone to put into an electron microscope, I could say, oh, well, I saw it. Man, I didn't. I handed it off to some dude who then, kind of like throwing it up on a computer wall off of a fucking telescope, Same difference, If they're going to lie out there, why wouldn't they lie down there? And not necessarily that there's no truth to things like that. As I mean, there's got to be something that works and fits, or it wouldn't be supportable in a system, in a career, in a medical industry that does the things it is able to do to the human body. So the fact that as a mechanic, they've figured out a few things, I guess, maybe, possibly, but as a creator type situation and how this all came to be and what it's really for, they are so far off. I don't think there's even even a parallel. Is how much of our biology is more just totalized too, like the idea of what our gut really is being the true place where decisions are made, and the brain is just fucking our decision making process up. You got a damn buddy. Sorry, I've got a a lap full of cats again. They're cold and they're on me. That's why I haven't typed to any of you guys there in chat. I'm encumbered here, so I do see y'all though.
Aren't they finding now that our appendix is actually like a computer processor for our gut? Controls like all the different biles and enzymes and things like that in our stomachs. We're just now figuring this out that, hey, actually our appendixes do something. Have you heard that?
Not specifically, but I mean, I've always had the thought that if it's there, there's probably a purpose.
Yeah, to think we're carrying around this, we grew an organ in our body and, it just sits there and does nothing.
Even if their theory of macrobiology was true, wouldn't we have gotten rid of shit we don't use or need anymore? Isn't that their whole fucking basis of their monkey spin up? Is that as we don't need crap, it goes away? Except for cousin cheap over there who's a monkey still somehow. But yeah, the fact that their whole thing is we get rid of the parts that don't work and keep ones that do. Except for that freaking appendix.
And they're moving so fast, that biological life. I mean, they slow it down like 500 times, and you still can't see the movements of some of them. They're so fast. It makes you wonder, is time different when you're that small?
Has to be. Isn't that sort of the
distance?
The relativity, right? Think about like giants and how slow they would seem to move compared to us little tiny people. And then think of hummingbirds and how slow we must move to hummingbirds. Time has to be just something completely different. It's got to register completely different, I would think.
Yeah, it's
most.
It makes me wonder, are we like just bacteria living on this surface?
Dude.
The lens cap.
Ask Roger. He'll tell you we're standing on giants right now.
There's a lens cover over us. They are finding out some really neat stuff. Like if you take the tip of your microscope lens, you just put a drop of oil, motor oil even, on top of your lens. Like you have your lens cover, and then on top of the cover, your slide cover, you put a drop of oil, and then you put your lens into it, and it gets rid of refraction. So much refraction, not all of it, of course, but because the light acts differently going through a denser medium, you can get higher resolution on a lot of things. And it made me think about Royal Rife, because they're using these, it's not an electron microscope, but it's they're all electrical. Nobody's looking at this stuff with their eyes just through a mechanical lens. They all have these, special sensors and this and that they're looking through. Well, Royal Rife, he was looking at things 60,000 times zoom. with just his eyeball. No electronics on his microscopes at all. But he used gases, different types of gases, to get rid of refraction and stuff like that. It's kind of sad that we were doing such advanced stuff back in the 1930s. And I was watching this guy, and they were acting like this was some new thing, some new invention to look through a different medium to change the light. It's like, wow, how amazing could microscopes be? I don't think they want us seeing that stuff, though. I really don't. I think they want us looking through computer screens and programs and
right, like the electron microscope situation that I was saying. I mean, it just doesn't seem. Once it gets on the screen, then you have no say anymore. You have no control. You have no proof. You really have no nothing. If it's not you looking through a lens, looking through a slide with your eye, and then are you seeing it? You know, I don't know. I think we're getting close to a break, aren't we? And we're supposed to be joined by Mr. Hori Sheet, I believe.
I believe we were. And yes, we are. We've only got about 15 seconds, so we're going to have to hit Hori up on the other side of the break.
Completely missed the descent and the hooks, and damn it, I didn't see it happen because I'm over here reading chat, even though I'm not typing to you guys. Look at that guy. All right, well, we will introduce you in a minute, I suppose, so when we get back from these lovely breaks.
Yep, that's it. We're going to hit break number 1 right about now. Episode 420. 840 hours of the Ironworx as we hit the halfway point of hour number 1. We'll be back.
Ants think summer all winter. I'm sure all winter long ants say, this one will soon be out here. What a neat philosophy. What a neat attitude. This won't last long. We'll soon be out of here. First warm day, they're out. Now, if it turns cold again, they'll dive back down. But first warm day, they're out. They can't wait to get out. What a neat philosophy. Can't wait to get at it. We teach in leadership skills. Average people look forward to getting off. Successful people look forward to getting on with it. The guy doesn't want off, he wants on. And that's what starts to transform his life into the doing, into the activity. Now here's the last of the ant philosophy. How much will an ant gather during the summer? To prepare for the winter, answer, all he possibly can. What an incredible philosophy, the all you possibly can philosophy. You gotta come up with a philosophy of how much should you do. Shelf gave me the best answer when I was 25 years old. Here's what he said. Do all.
Hey everyone, it's Chris Gio, founder of Truth Frequency Radio and host of Beyond the Veil. The mainstream media and establishment are running scared right now, and they've prominently featured truthfrequencyradio.com as number 89 on the federal government's hit list, also known as the fake news list, which is essentially a list of sites slated for censorship on Facebook, YouTube, Google, and other social media. Now is the time for you to get involved. Share your favorite TFR shows far and wide on forums and social media. Tell your friends and family about your favorite shows. If you're a business owner, get in touch with us to feature your product or service right here on TFR. And if you haven't done so already, become a TFR supporter now and get unlimited commercial-free downloads in high quality.
Visit truthfrequencyradio.com/sign-up.
Thank you for making TFR the leader in independent and uncensored talk radio. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection
from deception.
Travis Cook, America's Evil Genius, here to invite you to join us every Tuesday afternoon here on Truth Frequency Radio. No, on our show, you will not see a bunch of three-piece suits or a cocktail party, and you certainly won't see a bunch of inside the Beltway banter. But you will see eye-gouging, crotch-kicking, no-holds-barred political discussion, the likes of which you won't see anywhere else in media. America's Evil Genius. We come to you every Tuesday from the outskirts of war-torn St. Louis, Missouri, where there's always a good race rider sex scandal just around the corner. Join us every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and noon on the left coast right here on TFR Live. America's Evil Genius, Travis Cook, on TruthFrequencyRadio.com.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
And welcome back. Second half of the first half of the Ironworx kicking off right now. And we are joined by our good friend Hori Sheet. Good morning, Hori. What's up? What's happening? What's going on?
Good morning, Walt, Josh, Corey, and all of the Ironworx fam in the chat. How are y'all doing this morning?
Not too bad.
Bad. Cold, right? It's cold over
chilly
here. I'm all. Whew.
Yes, sir. We've been quite chilly here in Louisiana.
I'm having some trouble, and it's especially difficult because as I have my studio lights on, my space heater won't work, or it'll blow the fuse on my, or it'll blow the whatchamadinky. So I'm sitting here like, I wanted to share something with everybody, a discovery that you may have heard me talk about even here a little bit, but I this is a little startling, and I don't quite know what to think of it, and I don't really feel too comfortable sharing it, to be quite honest with everybody. But I've been in a really bad spot mentally for quite a while, quite a number of years, and trying to find my purpose, trying to find my mission, trying to figure out what I'm here for, what my mission is, right? And I know I've mentioned that I went through a self-exorcism quite some time ago, a couple months ago, and it really changed me for a while. It changed me for a good month and a half, fixed me to the point where I had no more addictions and no more worries in life. I was very happy, and I was given a lot of information that night, channeled information, and of course this came from I was tripping pretty hard. I'll just say that. And something that came to me that night was a name. And I was told to use this name. And I thought immediately that it's pretty cool because the name was Neo-Atheist. And it popped in my head. This wasn't anything I really thought about. And it said Neo-Atheist is going to be the name that you go by. And I kind of said, well, I don't know how I feel about the end of Neo-Atheist. It sounds like atheist, like there's no God or whatever, right? And all this time has passed, and I got the wild hair up my butt tonight to try to figure out what it could mean. And I did not expect anything to come from this at all. So I said, well, I better start. Let's just take Neo. What does Neo mean, right? And I Googled it, simple Google search. I'm going to pull up Google here on my screen. And I typed in Google definition of Neo. And the dictionary basically says new. It means new, right? Oh, okay. Well, I instantly skipped over the A in Neo-Atheist. And I said, well, what does theist mean? Wasn't expecting anything at all from that. So I typed in theist definition. And it pulls up Dutch and North German from a short form of the personal name Matthias or Matthias, see Matthew. So I said, well, let's figure out what this Matthias name means. So I Googled meaning of the name Matthias. Oh my God. It means gift of God. So that name that was given to me and told me to be used was a rough translation of neo-atheist is basically a new gift of God.
That's wild. That's wild.
That's freaking wild. And, I've been on this kick, and I'm sure I've told you about it and told you guys about, how I feel like breatharianism is the way to go. And you were talking about this, kind of felt like you were talking about this just a minute ago, Walt, when you were like, the vegetative state of us and how we were just, there's no bathrooms in the older buildings. And, we got our energy from most likely maybe the sun, right? So, well, that's kind of, yeah, that's kind of what breatharianism is, I guess. I mean, I haven't even gone through like the real, what is it, who started it, kind of where it come from thing. But so I pulled up, maybe I already knew this from just some research recently that Saint Germain, and if you don't know, my real last name is D. Saint Germain, which means of Saint Germain in French. And Saint Germain, if you pull him up, he's basically an ascended master. He's supposedly, and he's compared to other ascended masters, Jesus being one. And if you've heard me talk about my Jesus experiences, I've had experiences where I felt like I was Jesus in the flesh, all this kind of stuff. I'm starting to pick up these breadcrumbs here, and I find out one of the traits of Saint Germain was, it says many of the Breatharians' ideas are based on the teachings of Saint Germain.
Hermes Trismegistus. Trismegistus means 3 times great. Wasn't Saint Germain one of those times that Hermes Trismegistus was supposed to have come through this reality? I think that's right. Something that sounds right. Hermes Trismegistus was supposed to have been on the planet like 3 different times. And I think Saint Germain was one of those times that he was on here that makes him 3 times great. Because one of the times he was here.
Familiar?
Never heard of that one before.
I think so. Look up Hermes Trismegistus, and I think you'll probably run across Saint Germain.
I'm just starting to dig into Saint Germain and Breatharianism, and I'm about to go Breatharianism here really soon. And all I know is, what Google is telling me about this guy. And Saint Germain is, said to be an ascended master. He's a bringer of love to every person he speaks with, either directly or through the process of channeled messages. He's said to have many magical powers, such as the ability to teleport, levitate, walk through walls, and inspire people by telepathy. It's just bizarre that I'm tied to this bloodline. I'm all about unconditional love, and I tell my stories, my crazy stories, and how unconditional love was really the fuel that gave me what I considered superpowers at the time of superhuman speed, channeled knowledge, invulnerability, imperviousness to attacks and physical attacks. And it's a bit much at this point now, because I mean, I just, I woke up tonight and decided to dissect the neo-atheist name. I'm just boom, 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 boom. It's hitting me like, wow, tonight. And I just wanted to share that, like, when you quiet the mind and stuff pops in that's not your own, do something about it. Like, go see what that means. Go listen to the voice. Like, that's kind of what I just wanted to share in a nutshell, because as you do that, you start to discover things that you wouldn't find anywhere else. Like, I don't read books. I don't read anything. Reading puts me to sleep, thanks to the mainstream schooling system. I think it gave me a form of PTSD, and they'd send me home and I'd have to read all this crap to take, fairy tales and stuff.
Get down.
So I hated reading. And I really hated, having to stick my face in a book and read the whole story, and it would put me to sleep. I'd fall asleep. So now in my adult life, anytime I read something for a lengthy period of time, I just get drowsy. So it's hard for me to do research on anything. But yeah, like this neo-atheist thing, I've been talking about going to the beach to be beach Jesus. It's just too much, dude. It's too much. Thoughts? Opinions? Tell me I'm crazy. Maybe I need to hear I'm going crazy right now.
I don't think you're crazy, Hori. You know, well, what's your definition of crazy? Not doing what a bunch of brainwashed zombies are doing?
Apparently, that's my best definition right now of it too, you know.
Or is it listening to that little voice inside that's telling you to do something even though everybody else is like, what are you doing? No, I don't think that's crazy. I think you're listening to, you know, that little voice on the wind that talks to all of us, but only certain people pay attention.
Yeah, we got that voice at like 5% volume. And as soon as we get something, we hear that voice for a second and we think about it. And that's when it enacts our logical brain and thought processes and then it just gets distorted, you know? I've been told a long time ago to drop everything I'm doing and go find blue water and become a Breatharian so I can basically spin my pretty glow sticks out on the beach to have people basically walk up to me and ask me, what are those? What are you? And I will start interacting with people, strangers. And I have a good feeling that once I decide to go full Breatharian and I find myself on the beach of blue waters armed with only my glow sticks, rechargeable batteries, fire poi, and whatever device I may have to use to just simply drink water from the beach right next to me. I mean, like, something tells me my life is really going to start there. I've been trying to make a life for myself with my skills and my talents and my brain. And all it's done is lead me to ultimately where I was last night, putting my head on the pillow, praying to the Father that he just takes me in my sleep. You know, that's just about as bad as you can get aside from pulling the trigger or hanging yourself. And I just feel like I've collected the last bits of my breadcrumbs. And if I don't go with this, I'm never going to be happy in this life. And I'm never going to do what I'm meant to be doing. And I am lucky to be in a position where I can drop everything and go live on a beach and be homeless. Like, I'm not scared of it. Only thing I'm really scared about is how uncomfortable it might be physically. But then again, if I end up,
you hit it right on the freaking head. I was gonna say it. These same thoughts have been plaguing us all, and me in particular. You know, I know there's land that's mine, you know, and it's in Mississippi. I would have to go work it and fix it and make it livable. You know how fucking that would be. You know what I'm saying? How uncomfortable that would be. And that's what it boils down to. That's what this fucking society, this system has done to us, is made us so comfortable and fucking, and it's not even lazy. It's the comfort zone that we cannot stand to be out of. It's ridiculous. And I think that's part of why we are so different than our parents were. Me and Michelle were talking about this earlier, how like so many times over the last 6-8 months, she and I have had different ways that things have pointed us out to be like when the doctor said, oh, you don't look like you're 55, or same thing, she gets carded all the time. Somebody sent a picture of her mom at the same age she is now, and she looked, so much older then. People were just lived differently. They lived harder. They lived uncomfortably. And
they had blisters.
Our parents worked hard so we wouldn't have to, quote unquote, we would have a comfortable life, but it's turned people into fucking marshmallows. It's ridiculous. And it would be so rewarding to get out there and make it happen, to get where your gut's telling you to go, for me to go where my gut's telling me to go. And yet here I am holding my nice warm kitty, who, sorry, I was yelling at him. He's spilling everything on the damn TV tray next to me, my coffee, my tray, everything. So he's so big and just a big puppy. But yeah, definitely the comfort, I think, is even more of an enemy than the laziness is.
That's it. The cost of life, the cost of living itself, like not too many people that own a house or anything or have a children and all this stuff are very going to be very comfortable listening to the voice if it tells them quit your job, leave your home, go out to the elements. Like, that's what mine's telling me to do. And I'm like, I've been hearing this for a year and a half, and I've had people really tell me, oh, that's not the best thing for you. And then over time, now I have people saying, well, maybe that's what you should do. And at this point, being where I am right now in my emotional instability, I feel like I better do it. Or I'm gonna end it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I have to answer this question. I have to answer the call. Like, you've heard the answer the call before, right? Well,
Hori, I did it. I listened, and my life has been amazing ever since I took that first step.
Right? Zach pulled the plug, took the fucking journey, man. He nomad, man.
Wandered around for like a year and a half. And then Bob and Cammie called me out to Denver to work on their yard. I was just traveling around the country, building gardens and learning stuff from people and trade.
How comfortable were you in that tent, Zach?
Oh, it was great. I fell asleep so quick every night.
Because you were doing shit. You weren't sitting fucking screen.
Yeah, no, there was no computer screen.
But when you think, like, oh, a tent and a bedroll, and are you kidding? You know how uncomfortable that would be? But you said that many times on your trip. You were just, like, out, sleeping like you hadn't slept in years.
Head hit that pillow, and it's just poof, gone. Well, there wasn't anything around me. There was no electrical. I didn't have the TV on and electricity running through the walls and this and that. Yada, yada,
You weren't soaked in miasma of EMF.
And don't get me wrong, there were times when I was out there it got kind of, like, oh shit, what am I going to do? But you just go with it, and, the world provides. It really does.
It does. It does. And I learned that. The only way I could have learned that was when I was thrust into homelessness and ended up, 30 days out there in Arizona with my tent and my bikes that kept getting popped tires. And I tell you what, every night when I slept outside, yeah, it was freezing cold too. It was winter. It was freezing cold. And I mean, that one night I got rained on even. I went to sleep watching the stars in a field with like a blanket put down. And I didn't even have the tent up. We just threw a blanket down and looked at the stars and fell asleep together. And it was comfortable until about 3 a.m. when it started drizzling on us, freezing cold, drizzling. So now we're packing up everything. It's getting wet. We're getting wet. We're freezing cold. But I had this energy about me that none of that bothered me. And I cannot stand the cold. I actually get like really shivery and shaky when I'm outside in the cold like that. But I was getting rained on. It could have been about maybe like 50 degrees, and my mission was get dry, get out of it, and don't stop. And I did it. And like, I look back on that like, wow, how did I do that without freaking out? And things were provided to me: charger cables, food, money, candy. I didn't ever have to ask for any of that. Cigarettes, found them on the ground, found this stuff on the ground. People would walk up to me and hand me money when I would go try to eat breakfast at a Burger King, and people would come up and like, what's your story? What are you doing with your bikes and your fishing pole and your tent? And I'm like, well, this is my story. And they're like, wow. And they hand me money. I was at the airport. I got handed like over $150 by two guys as I was just asking for a cigarette. Yeah, the world will provide if you are really, not like I say, I wasn't at the time like listening to the voice to get there, but something was taking care of me, at my worst right there. And during that experience, listening to the voice allowed me to literally save a woman from being raped behind a Walmart at 3 a.m. I was told.
That well.
Yeah, like I lost my cell phone in some grass outside Walmart because I was trying to smoke a bowl, and I ended up having to backtrack to go find my phone, and then found it and got back. And at the same time, the girl I was with had lost her purse on that little rendezvous. So then we had to double backtrack. And during that time, I had met this guy that was really creepy, and something told me, you know, you got to stay away from this dude. But as I went back for that purse, he was heading the same direction. I had just met a homeless woman sleeping behind the bushes in a little area. She was sleeping behind the bushes. He was heading the same way. And the voice told me, you have to stand here and you have to wait and you have to listen for a cry of help. And I said, well, it's better than sitting outside the Walmart until 6 a.m. for the bike guy to fix my flat tires for the second time this week. So I sat there and I stood on the corner and I waited, and sure enough, I heard her screaming for help. I went over there and he was on top of her with a bloody nose trying to rape her and strangling her, and I saved her. I would do that every day of my life if given the chance, and I think that's just the reason why I want to put myself out back in the elements, to listen to that voice so that I can save lives, so I can change lives. Something's got to give in Hori land.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Listen.
Well, you know, sir, you know without a doubt, and I know without a doubt, you have my phone number, and you know you're not alone here. And whether it's just to talk, to hold your hand, to hear it, to hug you, whatever you need, man, you can reach out to me. You know that, friend. So I just wanted to put that out there first and foremost. Secondly, I really think it all comes down to, as Zach did it, and as you see, you're talking yourself into it right here with us on the show. It is all about doing that gut. You know, ignore that heart. Fuck. And that thing's insane. It's more insane than your head is. And definitely don't listen to that brain, that Brian, the gut. It tells you what to do.
Yeah, you can't always listen to your heart, because your heart tell you want to help everybody and this and that.
Yeah.
Like I did, you know, in my first weekend out on the road, I met these two homeless people. They were younger, and the guy had been traveled. He had been, you know, traveling the railroads and stuff like that, hobo style, and just, you could tell that they had been on a rough path for a while. And, you know, I gave him some clothes and some food, and we traded some stuff, you know, stuff like that. But then they asked me for a ride, you know, and my truck was already full. I had the whole back of my truck was full of camping gear and food, and, you know, I didn't have any room. Hank was co-pilot. And they told me they wanted to show me something out in the woods. A sigil that they drew on the ground, or this and that, blah, blah, blah. They were straight. And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, I'll go for a walk out in the woods. And then all of a sudden that little voice was like, hey, don't trust these people, Zach. What the hell are you doing? My heart was saying, yeah, they're good. Let's go. Let's do it. And all of a sudden, like right when I got out of sight of any other people, that little voice said, dude, stop. Do not go walking off into the wilderness with people you don't know that invited you out there. You know, there should be red flags going off in your head. And it wasn't my love. It wasn't any of that. It was just that little voice saying, dude, you need to think. Not with your heart, not with this or that, you know. Use your critical logic. And I was like, hey, you guys, you know what? It's getting kind of late. And Hank hasn't eaten yet today, so I'm going to go back and feed him real quick. Maybe we can go check this out later or tomorrow or something. And then I just never.
Some true colors? Did they show some true colors when you denied that, or what? Denied them of that?
No, they didn't seem too upset about it or anything. I still don't feel bad about doing it, though. You know, that little voice, I don't think ever steers you wrong.
It has never steered me wrong yet. Even when I didn't quite know why it told me to do the things I did on that journey. Like, okay, like the day after I saved that woman, I'm out at the park, and I'm just trying to like sneak hits of pot on my one hitter out there in the park, and these wildlife and fishery people came up with a big old net and they're walking past, you know, and I'm like, what are they doing? And I realized that they got these two ducks trapped in the pond. Well, these two ducks were in a pond with a rope tangled around them both, and they were flapping and flapping and flapping. They were like drowning out there, and they're getting further and further out. And the voice told me, go over there with the wildlife and fishery people with your fishing pole, and you're going to save those ducks. I said, how the hell is that going to work? But I said, oh, all right, I'll be right back. Let me go over here. And they told me, well, yeah, just cast out, see if you can hook them. See if you can hook the ducks. And I hooked the ducks and brought them back in on the second cast. And I'm like, just another experience of mine where don't question that little voice, bro. Just do it. You can ignore it all you want, but don't expect any good to come from ignoring it. But man, the beauty of it when you do it, and you don't ask why, you just do it. I expect that when I go to Be Beach Jesus, if I'm on the beach and I'm enjoying the stars and the water, and the voice says, hey, you got to walk 4 miles this way, I'm going to do it. And if I have to stand on a street corner for that next 2 hours just to help a little old lady cross the road, I'm going to do it. Like, that's the kind of life I plan on living. 100% by the voice. And over time, I know that voice will be turned up from 5 to 10 to 15 to 20% volume on up to that's all I hear. And that's what I'm doing it for. That's what I'm going to do it for. And I've got plan A or plan B. That's plan B. Plan A is what I want to do. Plan A is I know that if I did plan A, there could be great potential. But I'm not alone in plan A, and I'm not 100% sure if the other person involved with plan A is truly understanding. I've returned, I talked about it.
Perfect.
Oh, well, definitely hold that thought.
The future plans of Hori Sheet. We'll be right back, right after these messages. Second half of the Ironworx coming up. Stick around.
This is iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio makes you want to move. When you have a great melody, a song lasts
Forever. Instantly connected.
I love it when the beat goes.
Did you know you can listen to Truth Frequency Radio on iHeartRadio? Just download the app to your smart car, smartphone, or smart TV and get the best of TFR wherever you are.
iHeartRadio.
I'll see you there.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Who would have thought this could have happened? I'll tell you, here's the story. If it's bad, it'll be front page news in the newspapers. If it's great, they won't even cover it. Now, if it's bad, I say it's fake.
Saki told me so it must be true.
If it's good, I say,
I told you again, I told you.
Trump. What the hell is he talking about?
I don't know. Don't laugh. You're no cancer.
We are a laughing stock all over the world. You say election fraud, you get canceled.
The proof that Joe Biden hasn't lost it was that Vladimir Putin said that he seemed very sharp.
How about if I take a cognitive test? For some woman's man come TV, but for me it was easy. Law and order. We want law and order. We demand law and order. We don't want people shot and killed.
Clearly.
Now, if it's bad, I say it's fake.
Saki told me so it must be true.
If it's good, I say,
I told you again, I told you. You don't need your fully semi-automatic 30-shot clip, man. Am I right?
In other words, the entire system was rigged.
Yeah.
Every day more people are realizing that we were right.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, okay.
Crooked Hillary Clinton is the most angry person in the United States.
Yeah.
You know why? She said, why the hell didn't you do that with me? I could have been somebody.
There's a lot of enthusiasm for Joe Biden. He's the most popular president ever. He's significantly more popular than Barack Obama was in 2008. Am I right? Clearly.
Now, if it's bad, I say it's fake.
Saki told me so it must be true.
If it's good, I say,
I told you again, I told you. You owe me.
Now listen, if you have not subscribed to YouTube channel, do it right now. Do it today. And all you have to do is click the big red subscribe button.
Wherever you are, make it TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
That's hot. 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 That's hot.
That's wrong.
Wake up! Good morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt, and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt, and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
Exactly.
Shout out to Lucas, who
I saw Lucas,
saw in
right?
chat.
I saw Lucas. Yep, that was awesome. Speaking of that chat, man, you guys are awesome. Thank you, Tommy. I saw the glasses. Hugs to Liz and her mom. We love you, lady.
I was so proud of myself for doing the date. Son of a bitch. You're right, Liz. It's 2022. And damn it.
Hey, you know, baby steps. Baby steps.
Yeah, let's hope 2021 stays in the past. We need a new year, a real new one, not just a new number.
Time's not real. Anyway, I was trying to type to you guys, and then I got a lap full of cat again, so it's not happening. But thank you all for being there. I love y'all. Thank y'all. My goodness. And thank you, Hori, for recommending the show to Daz. I just saw that go through.
Yeah, I'm glad for that.
Man. And for those of you who aren't there in the chat, we love y'all too, and appreciate y'all listening.
Shout out Pablo.
Yes. And Diva. Where are you at, Diva? We miss you.
Diva.
Right?
Try to there. Yeah, you guys are great. Makes it so much easier to get up at this hour. Oh, Hori.
Oh.
getting into there at the end? You said you were gonna. Do you
Plan
remember?
A. Well,
So yeah, I had basically a plan A and a plan B here. But plan A was like what I logically have concluded is the best course of action for my life to take to become a happier person and to do some good in the world. And that was basically to help a friend of mine start a podcast so that she could then kind of carry the torch that I used to carry, to do the same kind of show that I've been doing that everybody's grown to love on my channel. If you followed me for sharing truth and conspiracies and things. And so plan A was to go there and live with her for about a year, help her with all kinds of stuff. You know, she's got 2 kids and one on the way, juggling college, a work at home job, and another job. So suffice to say, she needs help one way or another. And all of her actual help is not only retracting and fading away, but attacking her at that point as well. So this was the sort of thing that I was going to do as a sort of setting some dominoes up and creating a domino effect. I mean, she has the potential. She just starts a live stream to gain an audience. And my gut, my intuition, that voice is telling me that is true. Do it. But it's not like I can just do it. She has to be on board with it. So I think, that might, I don't know if I went to sleep and entered a different timeline or what, but I'm not sure if she's going to take me up on plan A like she was not too long ago. So either I shifted timelines or things are getting to her and she's not sure about it. So plan B seems to be, give all this up and go be Beach Jesus. And that's really all I was saying. So there's only there's 2 roads ahead. And the voice is telling me, go with the first one. The first one's going to affect more people on a more mass scale. And if she doesn't take that up, then the second one is just more of an unknown thing. I'm not quite sure what good I will be doing for others, being so solo out there, not live streaming to the masses, not getting my message out to potentially tens, 20s, hundreds, thousands of people. So
The vessel, man. There may be somebody sitting out on that beach right now looking for you, waiting for you to show up. And in 5 years, they will be the one out there spreading the message that you shared with them.
And
so,
that's what God tells me.
It doesn't matter if it's one person or 10,000 people. If you were spreading your message and one person hears it, you could be changing the world in ways you have no idea.
Yeah, I think, my intuition's told me that. Like, I might not understand 100% how I'm going to help somebody, but that is the thing that my gut's telling me, that I will meet people constantly. And when they come up to me to see me spinning pretty lights of fire and they're, wowed and mesmerized by that, like a moth to the flame, that's when I'll get to share some stories and magic. And maybe some of those people will open up to me about somebody that's sick in their family, and I'll get invited over there for a Reiki healing and save lives and change lives that way. My intuition is telling me that that's the kind of stuff that's going to happen if I take this journey. So I'm okay with braving the elements and being out with no security and no comforts, creature comforts, and not even eating. I mean, I'm not going to have to worry about money. There's no need for money for that whole journey.
Well, just throwing this out there, you keep saying beach Jesus. Let's just say that some of what we sussed out about history is that not only is it more truncated than we knew, but apparently there was technology strong throughout all kind of ages that we never suspected. And let's just say that, perhaps during the time when a gentleman named Jesus was walking the plane, there were abilities to broadcast and reach masses of people. But did he do that? Not in the story we were told. In the story we were told, he trotted around and met people up close and anointed feet and made personal contacts with people. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He and he would also get invited in to people's homes if he needed a a place to stay or anything. People were freely, helping him with the things that he needed.
Speaking of help, there it is in chat already showing up. Big Daz offering to sponsor your Eckort towing experience.
Oh, Daz. That's funny how he put it.
I know, that's brilliant. I love it.
I'll drop my Patreon link here in the chat in a minute for you.
What did you put in chat, Josh? Holy shit. Read that for everybody.
Yeah, it broke my brain a little bit. Let's see if I can't dig it out of there.
Where's Lucas? Zach, help.
It was translated by mainly P. Hall in Sages and Seers. The original text, I guess, or the original manuscript is in the British Museum. But this is a philosophical sonnet as written by Saint Germain. It says, curious scrutator of all nature, I have seen gold thick in the depths of the double mercury. I have seized its substance and surprised its changing. I explain by that art the soul with the womb of a mother. Make its home, take it away, and as a kernel placed against a grain of wheat under the humid pollen, the one plant and the other vine stock are the bread and the wine. Nothing was. God willing, nothing became something. I doubted it. I sought that on which the universe rests. Nothing preserves the equilibrium and serves to sustain. Then with the weight of praise and of blame, I weighed the eternal. It called my soul. I died, I adored, I knew nothing more. It was really interesting the way they used all capital letters, I think, for nothing. Like it's a proper noun. And that's really sort of where my brain went when reading this. So it's not as they're saying that there was nothing there, and then out of nothing, something just popped up. But the something was nothing. Nothing was the one thing, right? This nothing became then something. Yes. No thing became something. And then I got on sort of the never-ending story and how that was the dread. That was the
in my brain, Josh.
And antagonist was the nothing.
There is, so instead of calling these parasites elites, let's call them the nothing. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're going by and erasing our past, our history, everything. Trying to sweep everything under the rug so we have no idea where or what we are. They're removing our past so we live the future they want. In a lot of ways, they're like the nothing in the movie The Never-Ending Story. They don't leave anything good behind. They leave nothing behind. Well, that's not really true, though, is it? Because they leave their own story behind.
His story? You don't say.
His story, yeah.
That's wild. That's wild. Saint Germain's teachings. He's got a video. There's somebody put up a video of it's called Saint Germain Discourses on YouTube, and it's like 7 hours or 8 hours long, whatever. And I mean, every minute of that is stuff. I might have mentioned it last time I was even on the show, but I'm still going through that video. I have to start it all over because it's worth it again to watch and listen. Every single bit of that is how to channel unconditional love, and it's powerful, man. I really do believe that if you destroy your ego and channel unconditional love, you'll basically become a superhero, in a nutshell.
Yeah, that
Guess-
ego's bitch, isn't it?
Yeah, like I didn't want to come on the show and share these breadcrumbs that I found, but oh my God, like this is a bit much. Neo-atheist, how would I put that one together?
No, I liked it.
Yeah.
Well, so many words have been bastardized into meanings that go beyond what they actually mean. Like when you say anarchy, people think riots and looting and murder and rape and pillaging, and no, that's not anarchy. Anarchy is, no ruler. You have laws still, there's rules. You just don't have a ruler that sits on top that eventually ends up saying he doesn't have to follow these rules, or she doesn't have to follow these rules. That's what anarchy is. No ruler. You have your monarchy, one ruler, your hierarchy, where there's multiple rulers, or you have anarchy, where there are no rulers.
Because archy just comes from archon, right? Which is ruler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all in the words. But these words have been bastardized to throw all these other meanings and things to muddy the waters, so to say. They're all opinions. They're not actual definitions of the word. And, we've been taught more the opinions than the actual meanings of things.
Etymology is interesting to look at the where certain words came from. It's so much has been twisted.
Screwtator was a new word for me.
Yeah,
I had to look it up. Like, what the hell is screwtator? And it's one who scrutinizes. It's about what you think it is. It's just someone who scrutinizes, an observer or an examiner.
Mm-hmm.
A screwtator.
Yeah, it's like I knew exactly what it meant, and I've never heard that for the first time.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the context of that, it's pretty cool. Well, I feel like I'm gonna be a fly on the wall here and hang out with you guys. But I've shared the brunt of everything I wanted to share. Really appreciate you guys letting me have a platform to get some of this stuff out, and I hope it touches people. Hope it touches people in all the right places. Thanks again.
Well, you're quite welcome. Always glad to have you come hang out.
Truly, Hori, thank you, man. I mean, again, brother, you are family. So please don't feel like the only time you can talk to us is here on the show. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Red Dead Redemption to come out with that VR mod so I can play with you guys.
Just get on. Hell, me and Zach hardly even play anymore. So, but yeah, I mean, I play. Zach.
You guys got to get Valheim with me, man. It's way better.
Man,
it's
you
awesome.
said that, and I have never gotten it on for some reason. I just never have tried it. I'll have to.
Well, yeah, I don't pay money for games anymore, Hori, so it kind of limits which games I can play. I just get the free ones as they come out.
Well,
yeah, I know.
You gotta talk to me, Zach. I can help you with that one.
I bet we have a secret knowledge here.
A little secret.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, I'm down to get any type of game for free.
And now that you got that, I think that. Well, I don't know. Valheim is kind of more rough than you'd think it is, but that 970 can handle some pretty basic VR games and even up to some medium stuff.
Yeah, you did tell me VR was doable on here. I just haven't dug into it yet. I mean, I really don't do many games, man. Pretty much what you've heard us talk about is it.
Yeah, I've never
deep
clocked
into what I like.
My stuff or whatever you guys call it. Set it up so it can run clocking and stuff like that. I've never done any of that on my computer. I bet Jaren could have it running all kinds of stuff that it can't run right now. Yeah, because the way you guys talk, it sounds like there's ways you can just fiddle with the computer. You don't even need the hardware. With different setups, you can.
Some, it depends on
Speed it
what you have in there. The CPU is really what it's about.
Yeah, the computer talk. My eyes start glazing over. Just give me the controller and I'll control the little guy on the screen.
Right? Is this the button? Does it go? Okay, I'm good.
I mean, I'm in a couple of groups, PC builders, enthusiast groups, and I see all kinds of questions come up. People building their computers for the first time, like, where does this cable go? What's this? How do I get to the BIOS to do this? And I mean, I'm learning, but I've been working on computers since I've been in Ninja Turtle underwear, and they still do things that I'm unprepared for, man. My computer still does stuff where I'm looking at it and I can't tell if it's a glitch, a bug, or if it's just finally possessed.
Don't pretend like you're still rocking the Ninja Turtles, Hori.
If I could.
Right. So you mean you've been building computers since what, like last week? Don't tell me you don't have Ninja Turtle underwears in your drawer right now.
No, but I got a SpongeBob blanket hanging over my window as a window curtain. So, I mean, I've still got kid at heart in me, I guess. I'm wearing a freaking Santa suit, of all things. I'm a unicorn.
I love it.
And on that, I've been trying to think about what's going to be Beach Jesus's wardrobe. And I wore this suit when I was homeless for 30 days, and it got a hell of a lot of great attention. I got so many compliments for wearing red velvet pants everywhere I went. And I'm gonna pull up some pictures of some garb that I'm thinking about, and I'm gonna look across between Link from Legend of Zelda, or one of the Siths or the Jedi's in Star Wars with that the cloak and the hood. Like I can't figure out if I want to go looking like the light side or the dark side. It's all about being attractive and to attract that moth to the flame. I could go out there in a robe and sandals and make the same effect, but I'm trying to figure it out. I think I'm going to just go ahead and do the whole black nails and the whole all black thing. I've always wanted to do that. And there's some really cool outfits that I have to choose from. I have the black knee-high boots already, so I'm thinking, that's going to be my look. I don't want people to look at me and think, oh, this must be a Satanist. He's in all black. But people are so lost and confused. I don't know if they would put that together, or I don't know if they would judge me that harshly anymore. If people walk around in even crazier stuff, so I'm trying to figure it out. How am I going to look?
Well, you just keep listening to that little voice in your head, and I think you'll be all right, man. For sure. Well, that was awesome, Hori. Thank you.
It's the gut. It's the gut, not the head. Not the head. The gut.
Oh, so can we get into a little bit of space lettuce? You guys want to jump into a little bit of space lettuce?
Surely.
Before we get out of here?
Dang.
We can. We've got about 3 minutes or so before we hit that last break. I dropped an older story in the lettuce pile just because it went along with the story that Walt put in there.
Oh, thank you, Tommy. Again.
Sorry. Let me pull these up here.
And the time always flies when I come on here. I feel like I just stole the show. I didn't mean to do any
when
of
I
that
realized
stuff.
it was almost the last break, I'm like, are you kidding? I was, I'm like, yeah, I'm here, dude. It's like, no, really? Oh, I forgot about that one. All right, hang on.
And I'm still not sure they're not connected.
They're still pushing asteroid stuff, too. I've been seeing all kinds. Now there's an asteroid a quarter mile coming dangerously close. I love how they say it, dangerously close. It's going to be like 4 million miles away. But it's dangerously close. Are we going to see it? Are we going to hear it? Are we going to smell it? I mean, dangerously close is, That's an opinion. So to them, dangerously close could be something totally, to me, is like when, you know, you drop something real heavy and you move your foot out, or it falls right next to your foot, to your big toe. That's dangerously close. But to be 4 million miles away to where nobody sees it, hears it, doesn't interrupt your day, that doesn't seem too dangerously close to me. Just saying. But yeah, a lot of asteroid nonsense still. Yeah,
Yes, tomorrow they're flipping the switch on 5G, I heard.
The 7th?
I heard it was the 5th.
The 5th. Yeah, I had heard someone say the 7th. I know we've had 5G here for a while. I know T-Mobile's had 5G for a while. They run it at under the 1,000 gigahertz. They run it in like 900 and something, so it's not quite in the microwave spectrum. I mean, it's still not good for you, but it's not as bad. But yeah, it's crazy. It's like 300 megabits, which isn't bad for cellular data.
Yeah, that's really good, actually.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But no, it's been around here for a while. So I think it may be like a nationwide thing. Everybody may have it up by tomorrow who is planning to have it up. But I know they've already unrolled it out in quite a few places. There are some states that aren't allowing it, though. I know New Mexico, they had banned it.
And there's our nice hot break music coming in as we round out, heading into the fourth and final segment of our 420th episode of the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio. What a trip. Anyway, stick around. Fourth and final right after this. Some space lettuce, too.
If you concentrate solely on your career, you can get a long way in your career. And I would say that that's a strategy that a minority of men preferentially do. That's all they do. They work like 70, 80 hours a week. They go flat out on their career. They're staking everything on the small probability of exceptional status in a narrow domain. It may be that unidimensionality is the price you have to pay to be exceptional at one thing, right? Because if you're going to be something like a genius level mathematician, you're in your lab all the time, you're working 70 hours a week or 80 hours a week, you're smart, you're dedicated, you're unidimensional, and that's how you get to beat all the other people who are doing that. It's the only way. But the problem is you don't get a life. Now, well, first of all, you're a rare person, and second, you're going to pay for it. But fine, more power to you. But it's a risky business to do that. You sacrifice a lot for it.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine, great for heart palpitations. By Anne, before I started using this product, every afternoon, my ankles and my hands would be swollen. That doesn't happen anymore. So if that part of their advertising is true, I have to assume that the rest of it is also. Not to mention that when I had my yearly blood test, only a few weeks after beginning to use this product, my cholesterol had dropped over 30 points. I'm going to continue to take it. By Croc, I love this product. It really works. By Brad, works great, thank you. Tell us your story. Get your Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
True initiation is an inward journey. It's a spiritual path that is totally inward. It has nothing to do with anything external to you.
I want to determine if the Grand Architect is indeed what I believe it to be, which is the artificial intelligence.
The initiatory path is one of self-discovery and self-revealing. It's not a journey that someone can hold your hand through.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take you through the steps of initiation. Remember, you are divinity.
Step Beyond the Veil with Chris and Sherry Teo. Fridays and Saturdays, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
You're listening to the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
Mm-hmm. And welcome back to the fourth and final segment of the Ironworx 420th episode right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. We are joined this morning by Hori Sheet, blowing our minds.
I tried, brother. I tried.
So did you guys see the NASA's chief scientist quit? And he says he has a plan to terraform Mars.
Missed that.
So NASA, after 4 decades, he's been the director, 12 years as the director of NASA's Planetary Science Division, and the last 3 as its chief scientist. And he says he's quitting. He is touting a plan to geoengineer Mars into a planet habitable for humans. His plan, published in November, hinges on warming and thickening Mars's atmosphere by using a giant magnetic shield between the red planet and the sun, which would bring temperature and pressure levels above the point at which humans could walk on the surface without a spacesuit, without their blood boiling inside their bodies. Is this like Spaceballs type stuff? We're going to put a giant vacuum. We're going to build a giant vacuum and go suck the atmosphere off this planet. I mean, they're talking about putting a giant magnetic shield between Mars and the sun.
Suck, 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 suck.
He says it's doable. You guys can't even go to the moon. And you're telling me you're going to put something, a big giant magnetic shield up in space in between?
Don't worry about the details.
We are joined by Travis Finley of The Plain Truth. Good morning, Travis. How you doing?
What's up, guys? Sorry, I just started to stretch
what's
right
up,
when you said.
It's all right.
Hey, Walt.
Travis.
Hey, Hori. Hey, Zach. Josh. Walt.
How we doing?
Lettuce.
Fine.
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, keep going. I mean, you know, comets and asteroids and heat shields. Oh my.
Oh my.
If they only had a brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what goes on in here to talk about other scientists. Adler Planetarium astronomer and co-founder of the Just Space Alliance advocacy group, Lucien Walkowitz, argued in Slate that we're likely to turn Mars' surface into an ecological nightmare, given our track record at hastening climate change and strip mining disasters on Earth. He wasn't even convinced terraforming is physically possible. He said, despite terraforming's hold on the popular imagination, it remains solidly in the realm of fiction. For one thing, Mars seems to lack the necessary reserves of carbon dioxide to pump up its atmosphere and warm it in the first place. To his credit, Green seems to have a level head on his shoulders about verifying life on other planets and told the New York Times he wants to make sure scientists are serious about any claim to have found even the smallest traces of it.
And what's this guy's name? Devil McJewberg or something?
Yeah.
Doofus. McDoofus.
Oh.
I am Lucian Finkelstein.
So the head chief scientist of NASA stepped down. I think we're going to see a lot more of this stuff, these old timers heading out the door. There's some other scientists that are demanding Pluto to be restored as a full planet. Non-scientific definition. Okay, whatever that means.
It means any old way you want to define it.
Yeah, let's not get technical.
Anybody that identifies as a planet.
We don't want to get too technical about space. So, published in the scientific journal Icarus, researchers argued that the IAU could change their position on Pluto. They should rescind their non-scientific definition and stop teaching the revisionist history. For an astronomical body to be considered a planet, it needs to be spherical, orbit a star, and not share gravitational space with other objects in its orbit.
What the hell does how can in their model you not have gravitational space?
Right.
What the hell is that?
It still
No
get
sense.
A planet with moons.
Maybe that they're because they say that Pluto is affected gravitationally by some other planet. Planet 10. Planet X.
Aren't we all gravitationally affected by the planets around us according to their model? I mean, it's not like you can just pluck one out of the model and nobody gets affected because we're all independent.
Really, you have to do it that way, though. We have to say, the sun affects the Earth and the Earth affects the moon. But the sun doesn't affect the moon. Because if it does, our model doesn't work. So we talk about it in different scales. They cut it up into sections. You have your solar system where the sun isn't moving and everything is revolving around it. Then you go a little bit bigger, a galaxy. Now the sun's screaming at 500,000 miles through this galaxy and everything's being pulled behind it. But when we go back to that other model, we don't look at it that way. Now the sun's just sitting there. They can't intermingle their gravities. They just can't. Otherwise, everything goes flying out of proportion, and it's all right because we have dark energy and dark matter. Which, they say there's 95% of this stuff, but that wouldn't make sense because they said that there's enough. There's, when the Big Bang happened, now they're trying to spout that all this matter and antimatter was created all at the same time. So you have this dark energy and dark matter and this actual matter and actual energy. But wouldn't there need to be an equal amount, like 50-50? It wouldn't be 95% dark and 5% this? Wouldn't there be like a median in there somewhere?
Look, Zach, you'd have to have measurable empirical data to say would there be, should there be. Dude, they don't have anything, bro.
I know. I'm just calling out there.
They just make shit up, man. Oh yeah, the sun doesn't affect the moon. Oh really? How did you eliminate that?
Well, we have to.
Exactly, like we know that there's dark matter. Because there has to be. I mean, the presence of dark matter comprising 95% of our universe, we just can't see it, but we know it's there, makes more sense than the fact that we're wrong about the model. I mean, it just makes more sense because we wouldn't be wrong. So we need dark matter. Dark matter must be there.
I would love to find out if there was, I guess, the Electric Universe guys, and if there's an alternative science to astronomy, where people are actually looking at it from a different perspective that's not heliocentric. You know what I mean? It's like is there somebody out there that's got a think tank going where they're reconsidering the data because they're like, they might not be flat earthers or anything like that, but they're like, you know what, we're really not happy with this dark matter bullshit that's out there. So like, we're going to look at it this way. And then they start to just, I guess, reassess the data, but not from a Newtonian Copernican model. Or is it all just like, are these, I don't know.
No, they're still in the heliocentric model, but they're trying to say that it's all electric, which
Boogie. Sorry.
Well, no, I mean, I hear, yeah, but I hear what you're saying. But think about me and what I'm doing with refraction. So I'm like, when somebody says, well, where can you send me to read about the ether band? I'm like, my channel. Like, my channel's the only place you're going to hear it. So I'm using myself as an example of someone who's looking at a model of something, looking at the model's information that I'm given about refraction and terrestrial refraction and blah 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 blah, and then I'm taking my information and trying to evaluate. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's got to be somebody out there who's reassessing the heavens in a way that's not heliocentric, and we just don't know that the information is there. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, there's always been geocentrists out there. Malcolm Bowden comes to mind. He can't stand flat Earth, but swears up and down that it's a geocentric, everything revolves around the Earth, even the sun. They're at this position that the Earth is still, it doesn't move.
Right.
So it can't be disproven.
So, okay, so if what do they do then with the language of dark matter and other things that are, do they buy the same thing and just repackage it or what?
I don't know. I'm not sure how they explain the movement of the luminaries and all that kind of stuff. That's a good question. What are geocentrists that think they're living on a ball? How do they explain all that stuff? And I know, like Syngenis, he was in the same boat. He said the Earth was a globe, but we were at the center and it was created by a creator and this and that. And maybe they just go into, that's the creator. You would hope that they would look at it without a bunch of hogwash and assumptions and just say, yeah, we don't know what those lights are up there.
Yeah.
But no, I've never really delved into how they explain the lights above. That's a good question, Trav.
Yeah. I mean, because again, the way that I've talked about refraction, I'm saying this field is wide open for reassessment. Absolutely crazy years and years of research, wide open, right? So I would think that the same would be of astronomy. I mean, you would have to completely undo everything that's out there and start from scratch. You know, so think about the star trails, right? If Orion is in your night sky, then you are able to see both the northern and the southern celestial rotations. Okay, so how would we interpret that from a flat Earth perspective, right? You've got this degree of angle that Orion takes, and you've got a southern rotation and a northern rotation. You know, like, in my opinion, it would simply have to do with, I guess, well, I don't know what the word to use, but you know, the zodiac, really. I mean, that's, you know, understanding the motions of the constellations, the positions of the stars moving through the constellations, all of those things that we can associate with natural phenomena, right? So that kind of stuff has been done. That kind of stuff has been mapped out in the almanacs, but I don't think that anybody's ever really, like, tried to either, you know, marry the celestial rotations with the zodiac. I don't know. Anybody have a thought on that? Like I don't know what constellations are in the southern rotation, right? I don't know what constellations are in the northern. So do they intermingle?
Well, you'd have to look on a planisphere. AJC 1844 on YouTube. Great channel. Goes through how planispheres work, how they mapped it out. Really gets into the constellations and the stars and just how they move over your heads. And
would you say this is a channel?
Yeah, he used to make a lot of flat Earth videos, and then he did his thing, and then he just he moved on to other stuff. But what
was it called?
AJC, A capital A JAYCEE.
Oh, I think that rings a bell.
1844. Yeah, great.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sub to it. Okay. Huh. Okay.
But check out his Flat Earth Smarts number 12.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at it right now. Cool, man. Yeah, I'll check that out for sure.
Yeah, he did this years ago. Great stuff on how even the sun and moon don't move perfect circles over the flat Earth.
Right.
They move ellipses.
Right.
As they're, well, it is kind of a perfect circle, but it's an ellipse at the same. It's really, it's mind blowing watching him explain it. So once I learned that, and then a couple other things about the sun and where it appears to be, I came to the conclusion that there's something going on in the sky, whether there's a certain shape, you know, it being that the gases are formed into, like there's heat in the center, and as it radiates out, all the gases cool off and become a liquid at some point, and maybe they're in a certain shape, which creates kind of what we see. There's so many different possibilities. It could be polarity, magnetic fields up there. There's too many variables and not enough data to actually say what's going on up there, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, it's a lesson that, hey, you don't get to know certain things. Just
yeah. Yeah. Right.
But yeah, it's fun to think about, and
well, man, I would love to stare at the stars all night long and freaking get paid for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the whole thing, you know. If if no one's thought about this before, but one of the trolling questions is, why don't you guys have a map? Or why don't you guys? I'm like, are you gonna commission me? Is this a commission? Because I can't go drive a truck for 14 hours a day and then jump your hoops. Like, don't think that Copernicus didn't have a commission. Don't think that Newton was like doing this in his spare time. These guys were getting paid to look at the stars.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to those people anymore. They're not even on my radar. I'm just looking for others that are trying to figure stuff out. It doesn't even have to do with the shape of the earth anymore. I just want knowledge.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
more nature, the more you will be able to figure out this place. Because, like I said, there's certain things I don't think we can figure out. At least not yet. Not like you said, we need lots and lots of funding to map this place and actually get a true picture of what this place is, if it's even possible. But there are things that we can look at and learn about, on much smaller scales, and it kind of helps you unravel not so much what we're looking at, but how it all works. It's awesome. It's the greatest puzzle ever.
Yeah, it's a kaleidoscopic puzzle.
Ever changing. It's an alchemy experiment that's always changing, and you're trying to figure it out,
Kaleidoscopic fractal.
Wow, I like it.
Hey, if I can, just real quick, one of the reasons why I jumped on is because what Hori was talking about made me think of something. Like somebody out there, like Hori, possibly you, because you were talking about these games and whatnot. Like it would be a complete seller to have an alternative truth, like first person game where it's kind of like what's that game where they go through history and shit. But like where you fight against the elites, right? And you debunk all this shit that they've put out over the years. Kind of like an Indiana Jones, National Treasure. You know what I mean? I think that would be a total seller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if the censorship didn't kill it.
I mean, they use propaganda in the video games just as much as TV. They tell you the truth, but it's not blatant like that.
Right. Well, I'm saying, wouldn't you be able to just build your own website and just have it be there, and you wouldn't be censored, per se?
Yeah, I guess.
Expensive though. Running big games like that.
Yeah.
Man, it takes not even a team. It takes teams of teams.
Well,
of
listen,
teams.
start out small, and then you get your following. Right. Do it like chapter by chapter.
The better idea would be to hit the VR universe in a place like VR chat or in some of these other metaverse places where you'll be able to set up your own real estate and in your house you could design what you want it to look like. And in that house, let's say there would be a museum of sorts full of alternative information. There'll be a flat earth room and hallways full of flat earth content, videos, memes, channels, websites, and then the Jackson rooms where everything's all about what they're doing and trying to kill us with the human genocide movement. And that is more plausible. It's something that a one man computer nerd can do. That would probably maybe not just as effective if people were looking for a shooter game, but this is like a space that a lot of people are jumping into, a VR space, and there'll be probably more opportunities for them to find you there or your content there.
A lot more traffic.
Like where's that stuff at? Right. Like I don't know, where's that stuff at? Like where would you go for?
It's out right now. What are all these different verses called, Hori?
Well, there's Metaverse, then there's Facebook Horizons, which is kind of the same thing, but Facebook's Metaverse, and then there's VR Chat, which is a community of people you just get in and you're thrust into any world you want to visit, and people are just there talking and chatting. It's a social thing, and you could pick your character how you want it to look, and you could download your character from the internet and stuff. So people walking around like with whatever
Ready
avatar
Player One shit.
Yeah, it really is. It's like Ready Player One. It's already there. It's just kind of fragmented right now. What Facebook's trying to do is make their metaverse be the metaverse and the one that everybody's going to be in. And, then the whole world of NFTs and everything, this whole weird, it's a mess.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like all these Easter egg shits and finding stuff like that. So like, where's this like VR chat at? Is it like VRchat.com?
You can access it from your computer. Actually, it's a way you can get in from your computer or in VR, and it's been like the most popular social talking platform that's like a video game. But the unique thing about it is you can craft your own world if you know how to 3D model and create a map through I forget what tools you use to do it, but you can create your own world and invite people to it, or maybe it'll show up in a public lobby list, and when people go there, they'll be walking around as their customly created avatars looking around at your stuff.
That's crazy.
It's a thing. It's already here. It's been here for over 2 years now.
Okay, but so when the show's over, if I wanted to go find this, how would I do that?
Which is about 90 seconds, by the way.
Just Google VR chat and download it and
VR
sign
chat.
up.
Okay.
And before we go, I wanted to tell everybody I did a video, just did a live stream a little while ago titled "We Are Magical Part 2." So if you liked any of the stuff along the lines of crazy spirituality and Hori's personal experiences, check out "We Are Magical Part 1 and 2."
Awesome, brother. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for coming hanging out. Thank you for breaking our brains.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys. All it is all the weird experiences that I've had that I can't understand. I made a whole list of things that I've done that blew my mind, and hopefully it just inspires others to experiment with the unknown, I guess. You know, that voice, that gut, magic. We are magic.
Thank you, Travis.
Oh, always
and thank
a pleasure,
you for hanging
guys.
out with us last week. I appreciate that. It was great. Friday, everybody that was there, we should have talked about it. Damn it, we didn't. But it was fun. I had a blast. It's good to be back.
Yeah. Friday was great.
Well, take care, all.
Thank you guys. Love you all so much.
Week.
Much love, everybody. Everybody in the chat. Love y'all too.
Oh, Allison
Liz,
says
Allison,
she
Ian.
called TFR. I must have missed it. My apologies, Allison. Love you guys. Have yourself a great rest of your week. We shall see you right back here on Friday morning for another episode 421 of the Ironworx, right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Be good, be well. We love you. Bye-bye.